Free means different things to different people. Free is the laughter we share together. Free are the tears of joy on that special day. Free is the ability to express yourself. Free is the air dancing around your fingers. Free feels good, and so does saving. At First Ontario Credit Union, our members always get free checking, free ATM use, free debit, free deposits, free e-statements, and new members get a free gift. Visit freeisgood.ca and get money doing better for you at First Ontario Credit Union.
All right, folks, welcome back to the continuing coverage of the 2016 ISC World Tournament here on the ISC Network. My name is Kris Abbott, and joined by Todd in the booth for this one between the number 2 ranked Toronto Gators, who are the home team tonight, and the number 7 ranked J&B Painting, who are coming off an extra innings win yesterday. Joe, what do the number 7th ranked team have to do here to pull off the upset?
Well, the number 7 team, the J&B Painting team, will have to find the dent in the armor on Sean Cleary. Sean's been untouchable so far in this tournament, so we're going to have to see that top part of that order come through. Blake Hunter, Aranda, Tony Mancha, Palacios, Tyler Wynot, all good batters. We'll see if they can touch him up tonight.
Sean Cleary is on the mound. You see him there throwing his warm-up pitches. He's 2-0, 11 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run unearned, and 27 strikeouts. We'll set the rest of the defense for the Toronto Gators. In left field is Thomas Anoka. Brother Ben is in center field. Thomas Makia, the Hall of Famer, the living legend, is playing in right field. All New Zealand outfield. Jeremy O'Reilly is at third base. Shane Boland is at shortstop, so an all Newfoundland left side of the infield. Brandon Horn is at second base from Ontario. Brad Rona from New Zealand is at first base. And an all Newfoundland battery of Sean Cleary and Ryan Boland. We look at the batting order for J&B. Leading off will be Cam Schiller, the shortstop. Blake Hunter, the second baseman. Mark Aranda is the center fielder. Tony Mancha, the designated player. Jesse Palacios is the first baseman. Tyler Wynot and Aaron Harvey, Nova Scotians back-to-back. Kyle Cowick will bat 8th, and Pat Burns in left field batting 9th. And we're almost set for first pitch here between the Toronto Gators and J&B Painting. As I mentioned, J&B Painting coming off an extra innings win against the Bloomington Sticks yesterday. They played the 8th inning in the pouring rain, a walk-off sac fly after Tyler Wynot heroically tied the game with a home run in the 7th inning. So away we go. Sean Cleary is on the hill for the Toronto Gators, wearing their black tops and white pants.
First pitch, 9 o'clock, right on the dot.
So just 1 hour behind schedule.
That's not too bad.
First pitch was high for a ball. Cleary will throw out of the zone and try and get you to chase. There's no trouble painting the corners when he needs to. That's high for ball 2. Sean Cleary, Canadian national team pitcher, was part of the group last year that won the ISF or WBSC World Tournament, World Championships, and also the Pan American Games for Team Canada.
Certainly rose to the occasion. I was out in Saskatoon, and that was a great, thrilling last 3 days.
Schiller will take a strike at the top part of the zone. Cam Schiller's 1 for 8 so far in the tournament, just batting 125. Joe, you're wanting a little bit better batting average out of your leadoff hitter than that.
Exactly. You want that guy to take up some pitches, but you want him to get on base and maybe look at a few more, potentially test that pitcher, just work him to a full count.
Swing and a miss on the drop ball, strike 2. Sean Cleary out there throwing that white Rawlings K-Master. Worth was bought out by Rawlings, and the ISC still using the white ball. And Sean Cleary, under the lights, throwing a white ball could be a lot of trouble for J&B Painting.
Certainly going to be a challenge.
Also coming off those white pants. Not much of a background. Cleary with a little rise curve ball low in the zone, and he picks up his 28th strikeout of this ISC World Tournament.
Just froze Cam Schiller on that rise ball there.
Blake Hunter, the second baseman from Victoria, BC, and he is the opposite of Cam Schiller. Hunter 4 for 7 through the first 2 games for J&B.
Blake Hunter, a good slap hitter, likes to put the ball in play, and he's got great wheels going down that line. Can't make a mistake. That ball bounces 3 or 4 times in the infield. Hunter will be at first base.
So 1 away in the top of the first inning. Cam Schiller went down looking. Now Blake Hunter standing in against Sean Cleary. The grandstands are full here at Diamond 5 Green Valley Sports Complex in Moline, Illinois, part of the Quad Cities.
This is game number 50 on the schedule out of 70. Our championship game is Saturday night at 6, and that is game 70, so we're only 20 games away from the championship game.
And all the top games, winners bracket games, and teams battling back through the losers bracket will be right here on the ISC network. And that's a ground ball up the middle. Diving play by Brandon Horn, and he's on to first. And a great play to retire Blake Hunter.
Good play by Brandon Horn to get on that ball, and he kind of handcuffed the throw over to Brad Rona. Brad did a great job scooping that ball in.
That'll bring up the center fielder, Mark Aranda. He's 0 for 5 so far in the tournament. However, he has scored 2 runs on 3 base on balls. Two down in the top of the first. J&B Painting of Agoura Hills, California, against the Toronto Gators, of course, from Toronto, Ontario. The Gators took a hiatus from top-level men's fastpitch, but have come back with a bang over the last few years. Drop ball in the outside corner from Cleary as he dents the mid of Ryan Bolin behind the plate.
Umpires for tonight's game, John Hand from Illinois at the plate, Steve Jonke from Michigan at first base, and Lou Davis from Nova Scotia at third base.
Lou Davis, the umpire, what is it?
Deputy
Deputy umpire in chief.
Yep. Getting a little action on the field.
Yeah, this is the first time we've had Lou on the broadcast. He's over on the third base side. You can see him there just on the edge of the outfield grass behind Jeremy O'Reilly. Beautiful night here in Moline. It was 30 degrees all day. Not far off it again. 30 degrees Celsius, that is. I'm not good with the Fahrenheit, Joe, so we'll say it was hot and sticky.
Okay.
Drop ball on the inside corner for strike 2 on Aranda. Var Matosian was here on the broadcast with Blair Setford yesterday, called Sean Cleary the human rain delay, as he almost single-handedly put the schedule behind 45 minutes or so. Sean takes his time between pitches, and that's putting it mildly.
Very deliberate.
Lulls you into a false sense of security. That's high and outside for a ball. Full count on the number, check that, 2-2 is the count on Aranda. Clear night here. Lots of t-shirts and shorts. And the refreshments are flowing as well. 2-2 pitch, 2 down, and the changeup gets Aranda. So 1-2-3 go J&B Painting in the top half of the first inning. And the Toronto Gators will look to get on the sticks right away here in the bottom half.
The law firm of Fireman Steinmetz Dea built its reputation on getting fair compensation for victims of serious personal injury or catastrophic claims. With a combined 90 years of experience and a fierce dedication to achieving results, Fireman lawyers have recovered millions of dollars every year for our clients. Whether you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, a slip and fall, or as a result of any other act of negligence, When we represent you, we're committed to getting the results you deserve. With the lawyers at Fireman Steinmetz Dea, you are not alone. Contact us through firemanlawyers.com for a free consultation. No legal fees are billed until you receive your settlement. We thank Jack Fireman for his generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
I'd like to thank some of our sponsors here on the ISC Network. First Ontario Credit Union, Circle Tap Bar and Grill, Cooper Tires, Corbett's Source for Sports, Fireman Steinmetz Dea, First Nations Payments, Gorilla Gold, Mr. Ned Custom Tailors, Murphy's Fish and Chips, Poligro Sports, Skelton Truck Lines, and Worth Sports.
Thank you very much to our sponsors. Without your sponsorship, we would not be on the air, broadcasting on the World Wide Web. All those people unable to attend in Quad Cities here, thank you for listening and watching.
So we'll look at the defense for J&B Painting as they take the field. Pat Burns is in left field. Mark Aranda, who just struck out, is in center. Tyler Wynot is in right field. Aaron Harvey at third base. Cam Schiller and Blake Hunter up the middle. And Jesse Palacios is at first. And Rob Schweier will be throwing to Kyle Cowick behind the plate. Robbie Schweier is a veteran, former Canadian hurler, now makes his home in California. And actually, he and Cleary used to be teammates on the Pennsylvania Power, the PA Power. So they'll go to battle tonight. Also teammates with the Westside Charlies Newfoundland 2 team at the 2010 Canadian Nationals in Charlottetown. And now the powerful lineup, Joe, for the Toronto Gators. Ben Anoka batting first, Brandon Horn second. Then the power, Ryan Boland, Wayne Lalu, and Brad Rona. That's a dangerous stretch. And if you can get through those guys, Shane Boland is batting sixth. Thomas Anoka seventh. Thomas Makia is batting eighth. And Jeremy O'Reilly will bat ninth. Cleary, the pitcher, will not hit, although Sean can hit if required. He's not bad with the stick.
They've got a pretty deep lineup, and I'm sure Mr. Schweier is well concerned about the depth of the lineup. It just doesn't end at the 4 or 5 guy.
Well, Rob Schweier has not yet pitched in this tournament. That is his first pitch, and he delivers a drop ball inside, ball one. Rob's been around for a long time. He's got a lot of good spins on the ball, but he's really going to have pinpoint accuracy here, Joe, against this Gators lineup. Anoka chops it to short. Schiller on to first, and a great pick by Palacios to make the first out.
Fantastic grab at first base for recovering a little bit of a sidearm throw there by the shortstop, Cam Schiller.
That'll bring up Brandon Horn. Horn's batting .571 through 2 games to start the tournament, and he's also got a dazzling defensive play in the top of this inning. One down for the Toronto Gators in the bottom half of the first inning. Rob Schweier delivers outside and low to Brandon Horn. These guys know each other well, both hailing from Ontario originally. Rob from the Simcoe area.
They probably played together sometime along their career in Jarvis.
Drop ball on the outside part of the plate. And Rob's going to have to live on those corners to have success here against the Gators, who've been tearing the cover off the ball. They are 14 runs for and just 1 unearned run against. A 6-1 win over Lamplighter, a local team here from Walcott, Iowa, and a 8-0 victory over the Topeka Toros yesterday. Schweier got Horn out in front of a changeup and is ahead of the count 1-2.
Well, he's going to have to rely on that pitch just to throw the balance and the timing off on that strong Toronto Gator team.
This is our final game of the night here on the ISC Network. Fouled high and back over the broadcast booth. Schweier will get a new ball and head back to the mound. Well, Joe, the lights stayed on here tonight, so we're one step ahead of last evening when we lost power, and by virtue of the games having to move to another diamond, lost our opportunity to broadcast.
Well, I'm sure that there's got a little bit of a safeguard built in tonight.
1 and 2 from Schweier is low and outside.
The keeper of the keys might have been transferred overnight.
Put somebody else in charge, I think. That one's low, goes to the screen, and Brandon Horn has worked himself back into a full count. Horn, hometown is Waterloo, Ontario, and just announced today, Joe, that in 2018 we'll be back in the Waterloo region. The ISCs will be at Peter Hallman Ball-Yard August 11th to the 18th, 2018.
Congratulations to the Kitchener Fastball Promotions as being the successful bidder for the 2018 ISC World Tournament.
Full count pitch is well away from the target, and Horn will scamper down to first base with a 1-out walk. The catcher, Ryan Bolin, quickly becoming one of the captains here with the Toronto Gators. National team catcher as well for Team Canada.
One of the leaders on this team, just strong leadership skills, takeover, very quiet personality though.
Through 2 games, Ryan is 1 for 4 with an RBI. Horn gets a big jump as Boland takes a healthy hack at strike number 1. Schweier's been working down in the zone, doesn't want to put anything up to these Gators hitters, and could be a busy night for the infielders on J&B Painting. Change up is chopped foul down the first base line, and Ryan Boland's in an 0-2 hole. So the games we didn't get to show last night, just to let everyone know if you haven't been caught up. Hill United, who were leading 2-0 at the time we went off the air, they ended up winning 3-0 over the Kegel Black Knights of Fargo, North Dakota. And the Scarborough Force were 8-1 winners over the Kitchener Cubs. And Joe, Scarborough, they've been tearing through the competition all summer. And we'll get a look at them here tomorrow night on the network. Are they the favorite here right now, or is it still anyone's game amongst those top teams?
Well, I'm still thinking Hill United are still the champions and repeat champions until someone knocks them off. It's going to be a big challenge, but there's readily 3 teams here, 4 teams that are willing to take up and take that challenge.
Boland stays alive on a foul tip. 0-2 the count. Brandon Horn is the runner at first. So Kyle Cowick's going to have to keep his eye on Horn over there, although he doesn't want to run himself into any trouble with the meat of the order coming through. Boland is rung up on a low rise ball on the outside part of the plate. Schweier actually looked at Cowick and said that wasn't where I wanted to throw that. 0-2, and Boland's rung up.
Got away with one there.
Wayne Lalu steps in, the big power hitting Kiwi. Lalu is batting .400 with a triple and an RBI so far in the tournament. 2 down, Lalu without the batting gloves.
This gentleman swings hard. Just watch his swing at home.
Low and inside, another nice pick from Kyle Cowick behind the plate. That one right over the shoelaces of Lalu. Schiller playing very deep at short. Schweier being very selective with what he's going to give to Wayne Lalu. Brad Rona waits on deck.
Just trying to pick corners, pick locations, throw his timing off. Different speeds, different rise ball, different curve ball, mix it up.
That's going to catch the inside part of the plate. Lalu looks down, nods his head in agreement, and we're in a 2-1 count. Schweier has been all over that side of the plate, whether to left-handed or right-handed hitters. early in this game. Horn is running and Lalu drifts it to left field, but Pat Burns is there to reel it in. 3 down, and the Toronto Gators will come up with no runs in the bottom of the first, and after 1 complete inning, J&B Painting and the Toronto Gators, no score.
Pat Burns recording the 3rd out of that inning. Anybody that was in South Bend, Indiana last year remembers 2 of the probably the best defensive catches that Pat Burns has made in that left field position. One tracking the ball, going to the fence line, another one crashing through the fence, saving both outs. Great defensive great defensive games for Pat Burns last year in South Bend.
Well, you talk about great defense in left field, and if you weren't with us earlier tonight, Matthew Wall made what might be the play of the tournament at this point. The BCAs were trailing in the 7th inning. Greg Garrity hit a long fly ball to left, and Matthew Wall, in mid-flight, fully stretched out, caught the ball over the fence, didn't even knock it down as he sailed over it and made the catch.
Excellent, but a real turning point of the game, obviously.
Well, had that gone out of the park, it would have been 3-2 with nobody out. And after that, we saw Andrew Kirkpatrick come in and shut it down for the Gremlins. So they've moved on to the winners bracket semifinals. And the Gremlins will next play at 6 p.m. on Thursday night. And they will play the winner of this game. So leading off the top of the 2nd inning for J&B Painting is the designated player, Tony Mancha. Mancha, the top batter and the top pitcher so far in the tournament for J&B Painting. 3 for 5 for 3 RBIs, batting .600 through his first 2 games. So Cleary will need to be careful with Mancha, and he is. Rise ball high and outside for ball 1.
Mancha, a former ex-minor league baseball player, made the transfer to fastball, men's fast pitch, probably 5 to 6 years ago. Went and watched a friend. Friend invited him to come and watch a game. They were short a player, and next thing you know, he's tied up in new spikes and new glove and now playing the game. And a great addition to the United States program.
Not just playing the game, yeah, like you mentioned, the United States national team program, certainly on the radar there. From Las Cruces, New Mexico. The 1-1 pitch, a drop ball on the outside corner from Sean Cleary. Mancha felt it was a little bit low. Goes for a little walk to collect his thoughts. Now he'll step back in a poor situation for the right-handed hitter. Rise ball up and out of the zone, and Mancha misses it. Strike 3. Sean Cleary with his 3rd strikeout of the first 4 batters.
Well, that rise ball has been his bread and butter pitch, and still following through on that tonight.
Jesse Palacio steps in. Playing first base tonight. He's batting .500 in the tournament, 3 for 6. Drop ball on the inside part of the plate. Strike 1. Cleary is an equal opportunity pitcher. He can get you on the drop. He can have you chasing the rise ball, and he can make you look silly with his changeup. There's a little curve ball heading toward the outside corner, fouled off by Palacios. Cleary gets the ball that he wants. 0-2 count. One down in the top of the second inning. Nibbling on the outside corner, but too far to the left. Or too far to the right if you're looking at it from Sean Cleary's perspective. 1-2, he can afford to try and get Palacios to chase. And it's fouled off the inside dipper. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight on the ISC Network. It's our pleasure to bring you these games live from Moline, Illinois. And thank you to all the folks here in the Quad Cities for being so accommodating to us. Except for when they turned the lights out on us last night. One away, 1-2 count. Cleary back on the rubber. In front of a packed house on diamond number 5 at the Green Valley Sports Complex. Changeup is outside, and it's a 2-2 count. Palacios showing good discipline not to chase.
Just hasn't been able to bring that pitch in. He's missed a couple of times out there. Gonna have to tighten that up with Ryan Bolin.
He chases into the dirt this time. Strikeout. Bolin throws down to Rona to complete it. And Sean Cleary has his 4th K of the night. Tyler Wynot will be the next batter. Wynot had a game-tying home run in the bottom of the 7th inning yesterday against the Bloomington Sticks to help J&B Painting get here. Wynot, a Halifax native.
Former Toronto Gator.
Former Toronto Gator, actually plays locally back in Halifax with Justin Schofield, the other arm on the Gators staff, or one of the other arms on the Gators staff. Hard ground ball to short. St. Bolin going to his left onto first, and J&B Painting are retired 1-2-3 in the top of the second inning. Due up for the Toronto Gators in the bottom half of the second, the 5, 6, 7 batters, Brad Rona, Shane Boland, who those two guys just connected on that play, and then Thomas Anoka due up third. Thomas Macchia, should any of those guys reach.
Toronto Gators getting to this game. Sunday night they opened the tournament with a 6-1 victory over the Walcott Lamplighters. Yesterday, Monday, they beat the Topeka Toros by an 8-0 score. That leaves them with this matchup against JB Painting. Sunday night defeating the Waterdown Hammer by a 6-1 score, and then as we talked earlier, they knocked off the Bloomington Sticks 2-1 in a very entertaining ball game here last night.
Moving on to the bottom half of the second inning, Brad Rona will step in. I don't even know a veteran it fairly describes Brad Rona, someone who is a no doubt Hall of Famer in this sport and in the ISC. He's batting .250 coming into tonight's game.
The cream will rise to the top if he comes through as he has been in the semifinal and the championship games. We'll see if that happens further on.
Rob Schweier back out for his second inning of work, after giving up just the Brandon Horn walk in the first inning. Getting some help from Cam Schiller and Pat Burns along the way. That ball is going to get away from Calic. Ball 2 to the power hitting Brad Rona. Interesting story, Joe. Brad Rona's son is also playing in the ISC tournament.
Peter.
Inside, Schweier won't get the call, asking for confirmation if it was inside or low, and he's getting a nod from the umpire saying it was inside. 3-0 count to Brad Rowan, the leadoff batter in the bottom half of the second for the Toronto Gators. Well, Rona wanted to swing at that, but the 3-0 count told him maybe not. Tell you what, if Rob puts the pitch back there in the same spot, he might go out to the parking lot. He does, and he comes inside, in and out, working the crafty Rob Schweier.
Great pitch location there by Schweier, just tying him up. Rona deciding to lay off, working that count to a full one now.
But all for naught as he will walk the leadoff batter, Brad Rona. Schweier, you can see him out there asking again if that one was inside, but no, it was low.
Second walk allowed by Rob Schweier.
I tell you, a lot of the characters in the game of Fastpitch are out on the diamond tonight. Rob Schweier, chief among them. So you see the J&B infielders getting set, trying to figure out what they want to do, as Shane Boland comes to the plate, who can just as easily sacrifice or hit a 350-foot home run. I don't think we'll see the Gators playing too much small ball early on. High drop ball is in for a strike on Shane Boland. Boland and Schweier were teammates at Boland's first ever senior men's Canadian Nationals. The two formed a bond there. Boland down the third base line. Harvey jumps on it, but it is foul. Our camera actually gives a pretty good angle for those plays down the line.
Good play by home plate umpire John Hand to get out in front of the plate to make that call.
Oh, 0-2 to Shane Boland, the Gators shortstop. Look out. Boland due to get married actually very soon. I know his fiancée Courtney is on her way to Moline, I believe arriving tomorrow.
I think they're not coming until Thursday, if I might.
Oh, you know, yeah, you're right. I thought tomorrow was Thursday.
I think they're shopping in Chicago.
I thought tomorrow was Thursday. She's there with Daniel Dalton's girlfriend, Julie. I know they're tuned in tonight, so hello, girls. I said tomorrow because I was thinking it was Thursday. You lose track of the days, you know. 1-2, and Boland rips through a rise ball. One down in the bottom half of the second inning.
Second strikeout for Rob Schweier tonight.
Thomas Anoka will step in. He's 2 for 3 so far in the tournament from Auckland, New Zealand.
Very good crowd here tonight. Very impressed with the crowd here. Just the opening Monday. Park is completely packed. Good coverage in the local newspapers and on the local TVs too. Doing a great job with the media.
Inside ball 2 to Anoka. Pardon me, 1-1. Time is called by home plate umpire John Ham. Schweier throws the changeup, and Anoka just missed. Schweier ahead in the count. Waiting on deck is Thomas Macchia. Was inducted into the ISC Hall of Fame here on Sunday morning. And then the entire New Zealand contingent that were present at the breakfast. Gave us a in-depth look at the haka. Very close. Fouled away from Anoka. And I don't know about you, Joe, Todd, but when I heard them in the back of the room, I didn't even see them congregate, and all of a sudden we heard a big yell. We look up, and there they were.
Brad Rona was kind of kitty-cornered to me at the next table, and I heard him whisper something, and they must have a little signal, and next thing you know, they were at the back of the hall, and it was completely entertaining and completely, just the timing of it was excellent.
It was perfect, and then right after that, Jared Martin joined us via Skype from his home in New Zealand as he was inducted, and then, of course, Chubb Tangaroa as well. It's a big day for New Zealand Fastpitch on Sunday morning. 1-2 count. Skied, popped up. Cowick goes back to the backstop looking for it and makes a great catch. And unfortunately, our camera didn't capture it because he was standing right under it.
Great grab, good concentration there behind by Cowick. Pick up the second out of the inning.
And we should say a special hello. I'm sure there's plenty of people watching in New Zealand right now, Joe, as there is a large New Zealand contingent on this Toronto Gators squad.
I think it's about 11:30 on Wednesday morning over there right now.
Well, good morning. It's a perfect time to be enjoying a game of fast pitch. Ball 1 to Macchio. Two down. Rona had a leadoff walk, and he's still over on first base. Macchio, chopper to short. Quick toss to second base. Schiller to Hunter. And the Gators are retired. 2 innings in the books. Still no score. And again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, of course, First Ontario Credit Union, Circle Tap Bar and Grill, and of course, Circle Tap's team are doing very well here this weekend, or this week. Haven't gotten an update on Sebastian Gervasuti as of taking the ball off his knee yesterday, Joe. I don't know if you've heard anything there.
No, I saw him walking around in the ballpark today, and he wasn't, he didn't seem to have a change of gait or anything, so I think he'll be fine.
They did have a day off, so that was big for them today. Cooper Tires, Corbett's source for sports. Fireman Steinmetz and Dea. First Nations Payments. Gorilla Gold, Mr. Ned Custom Tailors. Murphy's Fish and Chips in Truro, Nova Scotia. Playgrow Sports, Skelton Truck Lines, and Worth Sports, who are still Worth Sports, but not for long, as they'll be taken over by Rawlings. Sean Cleary has retired the first 6 batters for J&B Painting, and he'll now face Aaron Harvey, Kyle Cowick, and Pat Burns, the bottom third of the order. Harvey 1 for 2 in the tournament. He's only played 1 of the 2 J&B Painting games. We talked about Las Cruces, New Mexico a little earlier on, and I just got a note that we've got some people tuned in there. I know we're worldwide tonight, from Newfoundland to New Zealand to New Mexico.
Thank you for joining us.
Probably in New Westminster, BC, too. I was trying to think of a name. We do have a couple of BC boys in this game, of course. Victoria's Bailey Hamilton on the roster for J&B Painting. Of course, also Blake Hunter, Kyle Cowick, Callum Bishop. And if we're sticking with the new theme, Aaron Harvey from Nova Scotia, New Scotland. I'm starting to run out now.
Good.
1-1 the count to the guy they call Harv. He takes a look at an inside pitch from Cleary, 2-1. The leadoff batter in the top of the third inning here for J&B Painting. We'll be right back here tomorrow night with the other 2 winners bracket quarterfinals. Swing and a miss from Harvey. is in for a strike. At 6 p.m. tomorrow night, it'll be the Circle Tap Dukes and the Hill United Chiefs. And at 8 o'clock, one I'm really looking forward to, the A1 Bombers and the Scarborough Force.
Yes, both those games will be very entertaining. Stay tuned.
Harvey chases a off-speed rise ball out of the zone. One away. Cleary continues to roll on. Cowick, as I just mentioned, from Victoria, BC. He's 2 for 5, and one of those 2 is a solo home run in their opening game against the Waterdown Hammer, a 6-1 victory. Chopper, and that's going to get through the 3-4 hole. And the first hit allowed, the first base runner allowed by Sean Cleary is Kyle Cowick.
Well, it's always a bonus when that number 8 guy can come through for a big hit there. Potentially it sets up that top part of the order. We'll see if Pat Burns can add to the efforts just shown by Kyle Cowick.
Pat Burns from Saskatchewan. He's 1 for 6 in the tournament with 2 strikeouts. He was on the mound for the start against the Bloomington Sticks yesterday before Tony Mancha came in to finish up.
I'm sure Pat Burns' dad, Gary, is home watching. We just met again a few weeks ago. Both of us were in Midland, Michigan for the ISF Junior Championships.
And we'll talk about that game with J&B Painting in Bloomington yesterday, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the great game Jeff Farian threw for Bloomington and the defense that team displayed the entire game. It really was an unfortunate way for it to end. Somebody would have to lose, and it was in the time yesterday when we had really, really hard rain here at the park, and you just feel bad. They're in the 8th inning, and of course, it changes the dynamic so greatly.
Yes, it does, and it's too bad that the weather had to potentially change the outcome. We're not sure, but it had to do with something with the final result.
That's a foul ball just below our camera. 2 strikes on Pat Burns.
Pat Burns also one of the pitchers on this J&B Painting staff.
Just got a note there from some of Tony Mancha's family, Denise and the kids in Las Cruces. Had a question come in, said, any update on Andy Jackson? Yeah, it's actually better than expected, to be honest. He has a broken nose, and they're waiting for some swelling to go down around his face to get some more x-rays from what we're told. And other than that, it's not as bad as first feared, I guess, Joe, is the positive news.
Yes, he will have some recovery time, but we wish him the best of healing too, Andy. You're in our thoughts.
So Burns, the number 9 hitter against Sean Cleary. Swing and a miss, strike 3 as Cleary continues to mow him down and add to his strikeout totals here at the World Tournament. His 6 strikeouts so far in this game bring him to a total of 33 in the event.
Sean really working that Gorilla Gold in that back pocket.
2 down, the runner on first is Kyle Cowick, and we're back to the top of the order. Cam Schiller went down looking to start the game. Schiller now 1 for 9. And I'm sure he doesn't want to keep hearing me say that he's 1 for whatever, but just reporting the facts.
Yeah.
Foul ball, 1 ball, 1 strike. Joe, I can't get over how great the weather is here in the evenings in Moline. You can see those flags out on top of the outfield fence, or just behind the outfield fence. They are completely limp.
Yes, it's been beautiful. It's been great weather so far, and touch wood that it stays with us right through till Saturday.
Got a note there from Jeff Novacek's dad, James. Jeff, of course, a member of the Hill United Chiefs. He's on his way here tomorrow. Oh, a special hello to the Novaceks. Safe travels coming down from Midland, I am assuming. I know that's where Jeff hails from. 1-2, 2 down in the top half of the third inning. Cam Schiller in against Sean Cleary, already struck out once tonight. Cleary with that outside rise ball, one of his signature strikeout pitches. Schiller wouldn't bite. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. To the man with number 2 on his back, Cam Schiller. He goes after the rise ball this time, and Cleary strikes out the side. So after surrendering a 1-out single to Kyle Cowick, Sean Cleary will bear down and strike out the next 2 batters. And J&B Painting have used up almost half of their outs and have not gotten past first base, but neither have the Gators. Rob Schweier himself has only given up 2 walks.
Why do you play? For 100 years since 1912, Worth has been helping top athletes answer that question. Whether it's for strikeouts or home runs, the Worth K-Master 120 is the best ball in men's fast-pitch softball, and there's nothing soft about it or you. Worth is proud to be the official ball supplier to the ISC. Visit worthsports.com for more information on Worth products, including the K-Master.
Schweier will face Jeremy O'Reilly, the number 9 hitter, and then back to the top for Ben Anoka and Brandon Horn.
We got some spare time here. I'd like to announce the 5 individuals that will be inducted in the ISC Hall of Fame in 2017. 4 players will go in the players category. Keith McIntosh from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Chris Dellerwell from Denmark, Wisconsin. Doug Middleton from Blue Springs, Missouri. And Todd Schultz from Williamston, Michigan. In the ISC Administrator Umpire category, an umpire was chosen and selected today, Dave Casso from Chandler, Arizona. Congratulations to those 5 individuals. They will be inducted next August in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yes, the ISC tournament will make its first stop in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Certainly not the first one in Michigan, but Grand Rapids 2017. Just announced today, the 2018 tournament will be in Kitchener, Ontario at the classic Peter Hallman Ball Yard. And that's where I saw my first ISC World Tournament back in '06.
Geez, we could have put you to work on that.
You know what? I was going to work on the recyclables out in the outfield. So we had quite the time there watching my uncle and his Farm Tavern teammates. They finished 4th that year before coming back to win in '07. Speaking of the Farm Tavern, Colin Abbott, Rob Gray, Todd Martin, and Todd Budke were all in town, and seeing we're in the Midwest, they came through like a tornado, and they all departed this morning. Maybe that's why it's so calm here at the park. Ball 1 to Jeremy O'Reilly. He's 1 for 3 on the tournament. O'Reilly from Placentia, Newfoundland and Labrador. Same hometown as Stephen Mullally.
Earlier in the spring, O'Reilly and Mullally put on a hitting clinic, a minor ball clinic in Placentia. It was well attended. Congratulations and thank you to those fine 2 guys that put something back into the game.
Well, it's interesting, you know, Jeremy was still a kid when Stephen started playing in the ISC, and he was one of the players that Jeremy would have looked up to for guidance and advice, and hopefully they inspired some more young players in the area And then Jeremy can be a role model and a mentor to them as time goes on. 3-1 the count. O'Reilly in against Sean Cleary. These guys check that against Rob Schweier. Fouls it back. Strike 2.
Good quick hands on O'Reilly. Good turn of the wrist there.
No score in the bottom of the third inning. The Toronto Gators with their number 9 hitter Jeremy O'Reilly leading off in this inning. Back to the top then for Beninoka and Brandon Horn. O'Reilly will swing and a miss on a pitch on the outside corner. So Rob Schweier is inspired tonight as he goes up against the number 2 team in the world, the Toronto Gators.
Very effective drop ball there shown on Jeremy O'Reilly. Pick up that lead off out here in the bottom of the third inning.
Beninoka grounded out to short his first time up and his second time up. Schiller on to Palacios, 2 down.
Not very many times Beninoka does not go after that first pitch. Usually pitchers like to get out front in the count, but Beninoka will take advantage of that situation. Brandon Horn now the batter for the Toronto Gators with 2 out. Pitch just missing on that outside corner.
Schweier and the umpire John Hamm having a good conversation back and forth here tonight. All very respectful as they communicate. A little bit different maybe from the way Ramon Jones was communicating in the last game. Just a casual observation.
Yes, very duly noted.
1-1 is the count on Brandon Horn. He reached with a walk back in the first inning and was stranded. 2-1 as he watches a drop ball off the plate. That one is just low. Schweier wanted the call, thought it was in the bottom part of the zone. Three and 1, 2 down. Brandon Horn at the plate. He chops it to first. Palacios gets up and down. And the Gators go 1-2-3 in their half of the third. And after 3 complete innings, Todd, there is no score here in the winner's bracket quarterfinal round.
Rob Schweier really mixing his pitches up well. Different locations, different timing. He's had a great drop ball working tonight, and that changeup, he's only used it once or twice, but he's shown to be effective right so far. Now this is the second time through the order as we head into the bottom of the fourth next time through. So we'll see if they can pick up any intricacies or weaknesses that Rob Schweier has shown so far.
Top of the fourth inning for J&B, we'll see Blake Hunter, Mark Aranda, and Tony Mancha. And while we watch Sean Cleary throw his warm-up pitches, again, I want to thank our sponsors, First Ontario Credit Union, Circle Tap Bar and Grill, Cooper Tires, Corbett's Source for Sports, Fireman, Steinmetz and Dea, of course, Jack Fireman, the sponsor for the Toronto Gators, also a sponsor here of the ISC Network, First Nations Payments, and the guys from the Hill United Chiefs, so thanks very much. Gorilla Gold, Mr. Ned's Custom Tailors, Var Matosian of the New York Gremlins. Murphy's Fish and Chips. Dave Anderson back in Nova Scotia, thank you. Peligro Sports, Skelton Truck Lines. Of course, the Skeltons have 2 teams here themselves in the Scarborough Force and the Toronto Batmen. And also Worth Sports, Rawlings. Thank you very much to all our sponsors here on the ISC Network. No score, top of the fourth, and Joe, these last two games tonight, as expected, I guess, with these top teams playing, have been played very cleanly and quickly.
Yes, well, from here on in, you will see that the closeness and the lower scores of the games as the better pitching and the better defense will shine through these last 20 games.
Cleary's in with a drop ball in the outside half of the plate for a strike on Blake Hunter, who grounded out to Brandon Horn. Excellent crowd here tonight at the Green Valley Sports Complex in Moline. And the crowds have gotten bigger each day, Joe, and we expect that all the way up to Championship Saturday here at the ISC World Tournament 2016.
Well, we have a number 7 and a number 2 team, so teams have been looking at this night, and for every night's games, there'll be throughout the week the games will get that much better.
Fouled straight back as it rattles the camera. 1-2 to the leadoff hitter in the fourth inning, Blake Hunter.
A lot of the teams that might have played earlier around the 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock game have stuck around, leaning on the fence out in the right field area.
And Hunter is rung up, drop ball on the outside part of the plate.
Good pitch location there by Sean Cleary. Good call there by Bolin.
Mark Aranda steps in. He struck out his first time around. Aranda also from Las Cruces.
Ryan Bolin called time. Just wanted to talk something over with pitcher Sean Cleary to make sure they're both on the same page.
Jim Flanagan taking in the stream, saying that Rob Schweier's looking good against a very tough Gators lineup. Yes, he has, Jim. Yes, he has through the first 3 innings for sure. Matching Cleary all the way. Pops straight up. And I think this is going to land on our, broadcast building. One strike to Aranda. Cleary comes set, 0-1. Chopper out to short. Boland lets it play him, but he makes the play on to first to Brad Rona for the out. Shane Boland there caught in between charging and waiting for the ball.
And the ball died on him too and stayed down, so good play by Shane to keep his body in front of that ball. Stayed fairly low with that ball, able to pick up the second out of the inning.
So I'll bring up the designated player, Tony Mancha, wearing number 11, and he's got his entire family watching here tonight. Vanessa Mancha watching along, says Mom and Dad love you, as do the sisters and nieces. So all the family is on here supporting Tony tonight, who's now batting .500 for the tournament. 3 for 6. And he's up with 2 down and nobody on here against Sean Cleary. He'll take a ball low, as Ryan Boland may have taken that off the hand. He was a little slow getting up. Top of the fourth inning, no score here in the nightcap from the ISC World Tournament 2016. Oh, Mancha rips at the rise ball, and Boland and Cleary are going to have a quick chat.
Well, Sean had lost his footing out there. There's a little bit of a rut just at the edge of the pitching circle. Sean doing a little housekeeping right now.
I didn't see Sean fall. I was watching that Herculean hack from Tony Mancha. If he had made contact with that ball, we would have found it in Grand Rapids next year. One ball, one strike. The Toronto Gators, who have had two large wins in their first two games in this tournament, J&B, have had to scrap a little bit. And you wonder, Joe, if they're a little more battle-tested right now than the Gators.
Yes, it's a lot better for you to know that you've been involved in those type of games, especially the ISC World Tournament, where you kind of call it the show, one of the bigger tournaments of the year that you look for and strive for. Usually this is the culmination of a lot of these teams' summer, so right here.
Mancha check swing, and he held back on the last one. 2-1. Doesn't hold back here, and he stares back at Cleary after he blows the rise ball past him. Two and two count. Mancha's had two big hacks at Cleary's rise ball. Will Boland risk going up there again? He does. But a little bit off the plate. Mancha watches it for ball three.
Good plate appearance here by Tony Mancha. Worked him right to a full count now. You don't want to make a mistake to Tony Mancha.
Waiting on deck is the first baseman, Jesse Palacios. Palacios also having a good early tournament at the plate. Mancha was looking out over the plate, gets a drop ball inside, can't pull the trigger. And we'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning as Sean Cleary adds another two strikeouts to his total.
Sometimes people worry about asking for help because there can be a stigma around mental health problems.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
They might believe that asking for help means admitting that something's wrong.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Some people worry about how others might see them.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Asking for help means that you want to make changes and take the first steps towards better mental health.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
We should celebrate the courage it takes to speak up and make changes.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Getting help is part of recovery.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Mental health isn't something you need to keep to yourself. Talk to a friend. Trust your teammates. You're not alone.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
The first steps may be the toughest, but knowing where to look for help is a good start. Community mental health organizations like the Canadian Mental Health Association or Mental Health America offer resources and programs that can help you. Visit cmha.ca or mentalhealthamerica.net to find a branch in your community.
And remember,
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Good pitch there by Sean Cleary, just froze Mancha at the plate. Mancha obviously looking for a different pitch, but Cleary coming in with that nice drop ball.
A big inning coming up for Rob Schweier as the 3, 4, 5 hitters, Ryan Boland, Wayne Lalu, Brad Rona, a Canadian national team player and two New Zealand national team players against Schweier, who himself had stints with the Canadian national team. Rob's been around the game for an awful long time.
I think we're going to call for a grounds crew to do a little ground maintenance here.
Grounds crew!
Can you call the grounds crew?
Do you need help, Mr. Umpire?
You're absolutely right, Joe. They are going to call the grounds crew to the mound after both Cleary and Schweier.
Grounds crew to Diamond 5, please. Grounds crew to Diamond 5.
Cleary and Schweier both have been complaining about the hole right at the front of the circle where each of them land. And Terry Bader out on the field now. So the grounds crew has been summoned. I see one of them making his way to the gate. Having to work his way through a lot of fans right now because there's a large contingent of humanity around the field.
Which is good.
It's excellent. It is excellent. And the organizers from the Quad Cities Visitors and Convention Bureau who are putting this event off, going to be real happy about it. Now Schweier's gone on to take his warm-ups, and I'm wondering if the grounds crew will be on standby for Cleary's next inning.
Yeah, Rob might have said it was fine for him, and we'll see if it's just wherever your foot lands is the big part that you have to be concerned about. You do not want to be in a hole. You want to make sure you land properly so that you can play defense should the ball be hit back to you.
And Rob Schweier knows the difference of waiting around for a grounds crew to come fix things up. He's in a groove right now. He doesn't want to take an extra 5 or 10 minutes.
The grounds crew guy is actually on the first base dugout, ready to go.
And we see our umpire John Hand run out to relay a message. Yeah, just ask him to be on standby, I think, for when Sean Cleary comes to the mound. Grounds crew are doing a fantastic job here this weekend. 4 diamonds going, and then, Joe, they'll have 8 diamonds going when the Under 21 and Legends events kick off later in the week.
Yeah, all that starts on Thursday morning.
First pitch to Ryan Boland is a inside rise ball fouled off.
Managers meetings for both the Under 21 and the Legends tournament will go off tomorrow night just around the dinner hour.
Ryan Boland's mom, Janet, and wife, Stephanie, arrived here today. So they're taking in their first Gators game of the tournament. Swing and a miss. Boland gets a foul tip right into the glove of Cowick. And again, Ryan Boland is behind in the count, 0-2. Rung up on the outside corner, and just like last time when Boland had an 0-2 count and Schweier threw strike 3 to him instead of nibbling, he does it again, and Boland down looking for the second time tonight.
Schweier is going very aggressive against this Toronto Gator lineup, not wasting any pitches.
So Wayne Lawloo will step in. He flew out to Pat Burns to end the first. And he'll take a low strike 1. Another one in around the feet, just like the first time up. So Schweier and Cowick have a plan for these Gators hitters.
Well, you're going to keep the ball fairly low against Wayne Lawloo. The ball up in the letters, and it might end up on the wrong side of the fence.
Fouled straight back off the backstop here at Diamond 5. The backstop at Diamond 5 that will be demolished at the end of this event, as they've done extensive work here on the grounds in Green Valley Sports Complex, but Diamond 5 is the last backstop to be replaced.
Spent a lot of money here. It's one of the enhancements that they were talking about when they were talking about the bid 2 years ago.
Well, you know, Joe, when you think about it, not just the backstops, but the lighting that has been installed here. Granted, it went out on us last night, but when it's on, it really does a great job. And you can see on the stream here how well the field is lit up compared to the years past when there was lots of shadows around the diamonds.
A great investment for the basketball community in the Moline area.
Oh, Lalu crushes this one deep, and gone. That is a 300-plus foot home run for Wayne Lalu to open the scoring here at ISC 2016.
We had talked about if you get the ball up in the letters, that big, powerful swing of Wayne Lalu, and he took a pitch that got away from Rob Schweier. Schweier a little mad at home plate umpire John Hand for maybe not getting the pitch earlier, forcing Rob to probably come a little meatier on the plate, and Lalu took it to the other side of the fence.
Yeah, well, I understand being upset about not getting a pitch call, but the umpire didn't hit that ball 325 feet.
No.
Brad Rona steps in with one out after the home run to Wayne Lalu, and we talked about it coming into this inning, a big inning for Rob Schweier, because those guys, 3, 4, 5, one of them are bound to do something to you.
Well, again, second time through the order to this professional batting lineup of the Toronto Gators.
Rona chops it off the screen in front of his own dugout. He's mad either that he swung at that because it wasn't a good pitch to swing at, or he wanted to hit it right where Lalu did. Rona for years sported the long hair. That's all gone now. Cut off a couple years, I guess now, Joe.
Probably 2 years ago when I first saw him in Stratford at one of the tournaments. I forget, I believe it was probably a tournament in Mitchell, I guess, when I walked into the hotel and Brad came in with real short hair. And I just, wow.
I mean, he's still an intimidating looking man, but when he had that long hair, boy, was he intimidating.
Yeah. I remember we kidded him. He come off that weekend and didn't really hit the ball that well, so we're kind of doing the old Samson and Delilah thing with the weakness of the hair cutting.
3-1 the count to Rona. And he's drawn his second walk. So back-to-back runners reaching base. Lalu reached all of them. I think we're going to get a pinch runner here for Brad Rona as Terry Bader's come down to talk to John Hand. And it is going to be number 12, Dante
Matsakatia.
Nope.
Mudderkatir.
As that is the Maori pronunciation.
Mudderkatir.
So the young man who's just coming off the WBSC Worlds with Team New Zealand. In to run at first base for a New Zealand legend in Brad Rona. Shane Boland steps in with a runner on and one out. He went down on strikes his first time through. Takes a drop ball for strike one as Schweier gets ahead, and he's trying to limit the damage now. Boland up, Thomas Anoka on deck.
Good double play there turned by the J&B Painting team. Nice Cam Schiller switch over to Blake Hunter. Blake Hunter throwing a bullet over to Jesse Palacios for a nice double play to finish off the bottom of the fourth inning for the Toronto Gators. But they do walk away with a home run by Wayne Lalu for the 1-0 lead.
Shane Boland with a sharply hit ball in the Gators are retired. Brad Rona will re-enter at first base, so that'll be the end of the Musketeers night. And we talked about Rob Schweier looking to get out of a jam. He sure does with the ground ball.
One of the nicer double plays we've seen so far this week.
So Palacios, Why Not, and Harvey due up, the 5, 6, 7 hitters for J&B Painting, who trail by 1 after 4 complete innings.
Well, we'll see if J&B Painting can find a reply to that 1 run put on the board by the Toronto Gators. That big, powerful home run by Wayne Lalu.
Palacios struck out in his first trip. Why Not went down short to first, and Harvey struck out as well. Sean Cleary has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts through 4 innings. That's 9 of 12 outs on strikes. So J&B will be looking to answer back that Lalu home run. And most runs given up by Sean Cleary, Joe, are home runs. Very, very few times where he gives up consecutive base hits.
Well, exactly that, and the great defense that the Toronto Gators have out in that infield and outfield. So it's very tough to get a ball through that shot. So J&B Painting have a task ahead of them.
So if you weren't with us earlier, just joining, the New York Gremlins and the BC A's, formerly the California A's, put on a great game here at Diamond number 5. It was a 3-0 final for the Gremlins. And they will await the winner of this game, and they will play Thursday night in the winner's bracket semifinal. Strike 1 on the outside dipper to Palacios. Doesn't chase, as that was just a little further outside, and that's Sean's MO. If you're going to go for one, I'm going to try and get you on the second one.
Good patience by Palacios there.
1 ball, 1 strike to the leadoff hitter in the top of the 5th inning. Again, 3rd straight drop ball in the outside part of the plate, and Palacios not even close. Had he even hit that, it would have been a chopper. Palacios hails from Santa Barbara, California. Rise ball, and that's why Sean's been throwing him the dipper. Palacios a split second from driving that to left center.
Obviously, I don't think he'll be coming back with that rise ball.
And probably not a changeup, as he was still a little behind. I would look for him to go back to the drop ball. It'll be interesting to see if they go try and bust him inside or continue outside. 1 and 2, they've got lots of options, and there's no catcher in the game that thinks the game and the hitter more than Ryan Boland.
Sean has a very effective high drop too. Doesn't use it very often, but it's there in his arsenal.
Drop ball inside, Horn from his knees and makes the play.
Great defensive play there by Brandon Horn. Went at least 10, 15, 12 feet maybe to his right. Got down on the ground and fired the bullet over from his knees, really, for the first out of the inning.
That'll bring to the plate Tyler Why Not. The right fielder grounded out to short in his first at-bat. Why Not has power. Already with 1 home run in the tournament. They'll check his swing. They'll check at first base. And the proper call is made by Steve Yonke. Fielders playing straight away. Chopper is going to be off the glove of Ronan into the outfield. Why not rounds first? He's headed into second, and he's there with a stand-up double.
Good hard hit ball there by Tyler. Why not? Ball hit the ground and took a little bit of a high bounce over the very tall Brad Rona at first base. Brad tried to get a glove on it, and then ball carrying out to right field. Tyler, why not able to pick up that second base there? Now we have a runner in scoring position. First time a runner's got to second base for J&B Painting.
So big opportunity here for Aaron Harvey. Kyle Cowick, who has the other hit for J&B, is on deck. Harvey went down on strikes in his first at-bat and is 1 for 3 in the tournament. Big opportunity for J&B. Anything through the infield should score. Why not? And Cleary grooves it. Harvey's not going to see a better pitch than that to hit in this at-bat.
A little bit of a break on the end of that pitch, but you would have thought Harvey would have been a little bit more aggressive.
Drop ball, and Harvey misses quickly in a hole, 0-2. And it's so dangerous when you're facing the elite pitchers in the game, Joe, because at 0-2, you're really just hoping that you manage to get a bat on the ball.
Exactly. You got to protect that plate now. He's got to be that has to be in the back of his conscience, but he's also got to be aware that Sean might try to challenge him right here too.
Up and away for a ball. Top of the 5th inning. Toronto Gators leading by 1. J&B Painting have a runner on second and 1 down. A 1-2 count to the number 7 batter, Aaron Harvey. Harvey gets a piece back off the screen. That ball went out of play, so Boland was going to go out to the mound to kill time, but he got the ball back, so he'll just give it back to Sean and go in behind the plate. Pitchers are very particular about which ball they use.
I really don't like that. Personally, I remember back in the day when I was doing coaching, when that ball left the play, you had to get a new ball, and they at least made you throw one pitch with that new ball.
Yeah, I've heard of leagues trying to reinstitute that rule because there's times when the teams would actually have a couple of people around the park making sure they retrieve them.
Yes.
And actually, Blair Ezegel is a guy I think about with that, and I just caught him out of the corner of my eye, so that was fate bringing that story up at that time. Blair was one of the most particular pitchers. Swing and a miss from Harvey as Cleary gets him to chase upstairs. 2 away in the top of the 5th inning.
Cleary with his 10th strikeout of the game. Here we are in the 5th inning, so about 2 per inning, sorry.
That's 37 on the tournament for Sean through less than 16 innings. Kyle Cowick has a single. Put it to the left of Brandon Horn, the right of Brad Rona.
Cowick would love to pick up another single here and try to tie this game up.
He looks at a ball just outside. Cleary showing his want for the pitch as he kind of buckled his knees a little bit. You never, or not never, but you rarely see that sort of emotion out of Sean. Goes to speak of the
demeanor that he has.
Well, that and the importance of this game and this at-bat in this game. Cowick with a good swing.
Cleary put a little bit more pepper on that pitch.
Rise ball on the outside part of the plate. Cowick swings through. Cleary and Boland, this is, as we talked about, a very important at-bat, so they're going to discuss it face-to-face rather than relying on Special hello to all the folks watching here on the ISC network. We've changed our format a little bit this year. We've gone through YouTube after we had some technical issues on day one. You'll notice that we haven't had the multi-camera production as we normally had. There was a couple of sponsorship issues late in the game, budget issues I suppose, but by all accounts, Joe, this angle has actually been pretty good. And we'll look to reintroduce some more cameras in 2017.
Quite pleased with what we actually had here this week.
1-2 count on Cowick. Two down, runner on second. Cleary trying to work out. Oh, and he breaks out the changeup. We've only seen it a couple of times tonight.
Great pitch there by Sean Cleary just to throw off the timing. Cowick hadn't seen that change up. Actually, we'd only seen it maybe once or twice earlier in the game. So big strikeout there by Cleary to strand that potential tying run at second base.
So the Gators will strand a runner and head back. The 7-8-9 hitters, Thomas Anoka, Thomas Macchia, and Jeremy O'Reilly, due up in the bottom half of the fifth inning against Rob Schweier and J&B Painting. And while we've got a chance here on the turnover, just want to say thank you to our sponsors, Worth Sports in Rawlings, Skelton Truck Lines, Peligro Sports in New York, Murphy's Fish and Chips from Truro, Nova Scotia, Mr. Ned Custom Tailors in Manhattan, Gorilla Gold, First Nations Payments and the Hill family, Fireman Steinmetz Dea and Jack Fireman, Corbett Source for Sports, Cooper Tires, Circle Tap Bar and Grill, and First Ontario Credit Union. Speaking of Circle Tap Bar and Grill, they'll be on the network tomorrow night as they go up against the number one ranked Hill United Chiefs. Make sure you tune in for that one. And right after that, it's the A1 Bombers and the Scarborough Force. Lance Wynn will have the play-by-play on the 6 p.m. game. I'll have the play-by-play on the 8 p.m. game. And, Joe, I think tomorrow's your day off, is it not?
My day off. Blair Setford's coming in to do a doubleheader tomorrow night.
As the Toronto Gators, Blair's other commitment here, or one of Blair's other commitments here, are off tomorrow evening, awaiting their game on Thursday should they win this one.
Should they win, yes.
I shouldn't say they're off tomorrow. Should they lose this game, they could have a busy day tomorrow.
That's correct. And I will be called into duty.
That's right. So you may have a little bias toward the Gators here. Although we might also be able to get Matt Palazzo back in the booth. Matt did a fantastic job for the couple of innings he was on last night. Felt bad that it got cut short for him as he was helping us out. Of course, the power outage, not much you can do except have a game of Ask Matt Palazzo, I suppose, which went over fairly well, I think. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Schweier tried to turn that one over, and he nearly turned it into the J&B dugout.
Again, just because it's 7, 8, 9 here, it's really not that much of a let-up for the Toronto Gators. Anoka, Macchia, and O'Reilly.
Thomas Anoka popped up to Cowick in his first at-bat. Cowick made a nice catch right along the fence. No overhang on the backstop. In a lot of parks, that ball would have went up and touched some chain link, and that would have been it. Drop ball outside. Anoka not interested. 3-1. And we've got some action down in the J&B Painting bullpen. Tony Mancha getting loose. Hefty swing from Anoka, strike 2. Full count to the leadoff hitter, Schweier versus Anoka. This is a big pitch.
We don't want that leadoff walk to get on base here. Did that back in the second inning, but was able to strand him.
The only blemish for Schweier, a moonshot by Wayne Lalu. Anoka down looking on the high drop ball, Rob Schweier.
Great come from behind effort there by Schweier. Schweier got behind the count 3-1, worked his way back for that big strikeout against Anoka.
Robbie Schweier's running his own strength and conditioning programs out in California right now. Schweier, a former semi-professional hockey player, or minor pro hockey player, I guess. And now he's gotten into training young athletes as well. Starts off the Hall of Famer Macchia with a drop ball, strike one. Well, we've got viewers in the Bahamas tonight as well. Joe, Hazel McDonald checking in.
Hazel and Robbie Schweier go back a long way. Hazel and Robbie have played. Hazel has brought Robbie in for a few tournaments down in the Bahamas area. Thank you for joining us, Hazel.
I can only imagine that the fun that Rob Schweier has when he gets to the Bahamas. No balls, 2 strikes. He's all business right now. Macchia calls time before Schweier gets into his motion. Just before Schweier gets into his motion. Macchia was on base via a walk, but erased on the fielder's choice. Back in the second inning.
A little pitch there by Schweier, but got away from Cowick.
One ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. In the bottom of the 5th inning, Toronto Gators lead by 1. The number 9 hitter, Jeremy O'Reilly, on deck. Another one in the dirt. Macchia not interested. In fact, had to turn his face to get away from the debris.
Good plate discipline by Thomas.
Another one low and inside, so after getting ahead 0-2, Schweier's fallen back into a full count with Macchia.
Rob has got late in the counts for probably 2 consecutive innings here now, so it's potential sign of a little bit of tiring.
Well, Mancha is ready to go in the J&B bullpen. Macchia rung up on the drop ball outside. Schweier's not ready to go. Jeremy O'Reilly, who struck out in his first at-bat, will step in. The number 9 batter, Ben Anoka, waits on deck should O'Reilly reach here in the bottom of the 5th.
6 strikeouts for Rob Schweier to the 5th inning here, bottom of the 5th.
Jeremy O'Reilly's a multiple-time Canadian national champion, which is amazing to say considering his young age. O'Reilly in his mid-20s. This is a flare to the left side and brought down by the third baseman Aaron Harvey. And the Gators go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Just like that, we are off to the 6th inning. J&B Painting have 6 outs to work with.
Rob Schweier had a great 5th inning there, getting Anoka and Macchia to strike out and then getting O'Reilly to pop up. Good clean inning there. He wants to keep his pitch count down to a minimum for the balance of this game.
Well, when you look at Rob Schweier's body of work through the 5 innings here, just the one mistake, the one blemish, and Wayne Lalu made him pay. And that's what Lalu does. That's why they They bring him here. That's what he's here for.
Exactly.
Be a game breaker.
Yep.
Sean Cleary back for his 6th inning of work. He's pitched all but 1 inning for the Gators so far here in the tournament. Justin Schofield came in to mop up against the Topeka Toros yesterday afternoon.
J&B Painting are actually out hitting the Toronto Gators 2-1, but losing on that scoreboard 1-0.
No, you've got to tip your hat to Rob Schweier and the effort he's put forth so far. Schweier and Cleary, we talked about off the top, former teammates on a couple of different teams through the years, and 2 very different personalities. Sean Cleary, very reserved, although he's a funny dude if you get talking to him. And Rob Schweier, very outgoing, very animated. So it's Pat Burns, the number 9 batter, leading off for J&B in the top half of the 6th inning. Cam Schiller on deck, Blake Hunter in the hole. First pitch fouled straight back to the screen, and Cleary is ahead 0-1. Speaking of Stephen Mullally, we were talking about him way back in the 1st inning. He and Jeremy O'Reilly. Stephen's just joined us here in the booth, and you know what? Do you want to stick around for a bit? Just for a few seconds. We'll get your mic turned on and turned up. So Steve Mullally, welcome aboard. The Hill United Chiefs had a day off today. What did you guys do? I think you practiced this morning. Is that right? So you guys got Circle Tap tomorrow night. Have you played them this season?
So it's good to face them this weekend, but they're a good team. Not sure what they're pitching because I think Ferguson went out of the so I think that's who we would get if he was healthy. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, their other arm this week has been Joel Goodall, and he got in a little trouble in his first start. Dervasuti came in and bailed him out. Now, we were talking about it earlier on the broadcast. Joe saw him here walking around today, but certainly with a lower body injury on a pitcher, you never really know if they're going to be able to rebound or not.
Yeah, to see how it feels. He was able to go his game and be able to our game plan is going to be the same thing. Practice. We're lining up for some changes.
Ground ball by Cam Schiller right into the first base mitt of Brad Rona, and J&B Painting now down to 4 outs here against Sean Cleary and the Toronto Gators. Stephen, how long have you been at the park here this evening? Have you had a chance to watch much of this game?
Yeah, we got here in the second. Watching all the we predicted it. We were actually sitting in the stands. The difference maker in this game was Sean's chalk. You're never going to count J&B out. He looks like he's on the.
Well, they got their number 2 hitter and Blake Hunter up now with 2 out. And, of course, the meat of the order will get a chance here before this is all said and done. The Gators 1-0 ahead here, 2 down in the top of the 6th inning. We're joined by Stephen Mullally of the Hill United Chiefs here in the booth, Kris Abbott and Joe Todd. And, of course, a lot.
12.
So 12 of the 17 outs to this point. Well, we've been talking about that. Schweier, it was his first action of the tournament. Tony Mancha has been doing a lot of the throwing for J&B. But Rob looks like he's on a mission tonight to say, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still here.
Schweier with 6 strikeouts with a couple of walks, though, but just that big dinger by Wayne Lalu, the difference in the game.
Yeah, Joe had just said, Stephen, before you got here, that J&B were actually out hitting Toronto.
2-1. Yeah.
But
Just what the lone hit was been Wayne Lalu's home run out to deep center.
Chopper O'Reilly charges on to first. Actually, that is not O'Reilly. He'd been subbed out. And we didn't get the change up here. Wearing number 8 for the Toronto Gators, Ty Sebastian, had come in after O'Reilly got out to end the last inning. And Sebastian makes a real nice defensive play.
Robbie seemed to think like he was straight 3, and how often does that happen? Throw a great pitch, think you got a guy strike out. The next pitch, he's one of the best hitters in the world.
Robbie showed a lot of emotion after that pitch too. That he, said that he voiced his opinion to home plate umpire John Hand at the time. But again, you have a job to do on the mound. John Hand has a job to do at the plate. Now we'll see if the bats of J&B Painting come through. They have one less crack at Sean Cleary. When we get back here to in the top of the 7th, we're heading over now to the bottom of the 6th inning.
Yeah, and you can't forget about the fact that the Gators are coming up at the top of their order here. Ben Anoka, Brandon Horn, and Ryan Boland, although Boland's gone down looking twice on 6 pitches, if you can believe that.
And caught looking twice, too. Not very often you'll catch Ryan looking at the same pitch twice.
He's one of those hitters who can struggle through a tournament and just takes one good swing. He's that good. One good swing puts him back in the comfort zone and he can carry a team on his back.
Exactly. You don't want to give him that pitch, but Rob Schweier's had him contained tonight.
So we're off to the bottom of the 6th inning. Ben Anoka, Brandon Horn, and Ryan Boland.
Well, the 3rd inning and the 5th inning, Rob Schweier got the Toronto Gators to go up 3 up and 3 down. We'll see what he's got left in the tank here as we face the top of the order for the Toronto Gators.
Molly, some of our viewers saying they're having a hard time hearing you, so I've just changed your microphone input. Hopefully that changes that.
Let's see whoever's texting you if they can hear it now.
All right, so we'll wait for an update. The one-man production crew going on up here, so we do have a new microphone jack plugged in there, so hopefully that works out.
Ben Anoka has grounded out twice to infielder Cam Schiller.
So do you have a few of the boys up here the week? Is Colin and Todd, 2 of the boys come up?
Well, Colin and Todd were okay. We've got you now, Stephen. So we do apologize to our viewers for that. Colin and Todd were scheduled to come up last night after your game, but of course with the power outage here at Diamond 5. And everything moved, then unfortunately we didn't get Todd Martin and Colin Abbott on their repeat performance, as that's ripped into right center field by Ben Anoka, straight to the fence. Anoka not slowing down around second. He is going to be into 3rd base with a triple as he kicks the bag all the way over to the 3rd base coaching box.
Good wheels there by Ben Anoka. Runs like a gazelle out there on the base pass.
Steve, much like your Hill United Chiefs lineup, this Toronto Gators team is deep 1 through, you say 1 through 9, but it's probably more like 1 through 15. How do you approach a team like that? And talking to your pitchers, and I know you have one of the best in the world, but mentally, it's got to be a grind.
It absolutely is. And especially as we've been fortunate enough to win this tournament the last 3 years, but every single year the other teams load up, and the Gators they put together one of the best teams in the world. And this year has been such a great year for the ISC and the caliber of the talent within top 6 teams for sure. And it's a wide open tournament, but this Gator team won through, like I said, 12. But as you look at the batter, it's not just the pitching. We got Adam Fulker, one of the best, if not the best in the world. Sean Cleary's out there, but you look at Jason Sanford, Ryan Boland behind the plate. It's just as much those guys that control the game, and it's just those guys getting in the comfort zone, and it's nothing new for these guys. They know the hitters that they're facing, and they've charted it out. But you got the best hitters versus the best pitchers, so something's going to give it at one point or another.
Absolutely. And speaking of pitchers, Rob Schweier will be taken out of the game after the leadoff Anoka triple. And the Mancha family who are watching in Las Cruces will be happy to see their boy Tony towing up the rubber here for J&B Painting.
Well, he's got a task ahead of him with that Anoka triple, a leadoff batter here in the 6th inning, the bottom of the 6th inning. Toronto Gators looking for some insurance. J&B Painting want to shut the door on the Toronto Gators, so they have a shot in the top of the 7th.
Brandon Horn comes up. Steve, you had a chance to be a teammate of Brandon Horn over the years on a few different occasions. What does he bring to the Gators lineup?
Brandon Horn's a game changer on any team, both as a teammate, but he's one of the biggest gamers that you'll ever get a chance to play with. You put him up there as arguably the best second baseman in the game, one of the best 1-2 hitters in the game, but absolute pleasure to play with. And if you need to get a big hit in any game, any uniform, Team Canada or club team, you want this guy at the plate.
He's going to foul this back off the broadcast pavilion here at Green Valley Sports Complex. 1-1 the count for Brandon Horn against Tony Mancha, and you can see the J&B infield are playing well in, because even if they do get a sharp ground ball, Ben Anoka is so fast, he's going to make it tough for them anyhow.
Exactly. Got to make sure you get a good clean bounce and a good clean throw. They're going to be gunning for Anoka should he take off from third base.
1-0 J&B Painting trailing the Toronto Gators in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brandon Horn, with nobody out, is looking to bring in that huge insurance run from third base for the Toronto Gators. And Sean Cleary's his biggest cheerleader right now, just to give him a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, and just getting the opportunity to play with these guys so often. I know he's in the dugout just mentally preparing for the next inning, but J&B are up against it right here. No one out, runner on third. They're the best contact clutch hitter in the game up. I'll go with the odds. I'm going to say that Brandon won't strike out. You never know. Tony's a gamer out there too, but they're in a rough spot here.
Foul ball, 1-2. A rise ball inside, got the shaft of the batter, at least the lower part of the barrel, on Horn. Thanks for tuning into the ISC Network. Kris, Abbott, and Joe Todd with special guest Stephen Mullally, who popped into the booth, unexpected, mind you, in the 6th inning with a couple of bottles of water for Joe and I. Swinging a miss. Horn's going to run down to first. Anoka thought about it, but Cowick does a good job down to Palacios, and there's one down.
Good gun there by Cowick to get that quick release down to Jesse Palacios for that first out, leaving Ben Anoka at third base.
The last couple of times I've been up to the broadcast over the last couple of years, I've made a prediction like that. And every single time I've been proven wrong. That doesn't happen.
I'm not taking you to the casino.
Right.
It's the broadcaster's curse, Mullally. It's the broadcaster's curse.
That's a good move by J&B to give the hitters a different look.
Wild pitch getting away from Cowick and allowing Ben Anoka to score the second run of the game. Pitch that kind of got away from Mancha. Real tough. Cowick not able to corral it. Ball going to the fence and Anoka scoring.
And how many times do we see that when a pitcher bears down and gets a big out, and then one goes to the screen and it's all for naught?
Again, it's just a fact of focus and concentration, especially with that runner at third base.
So Ryan Boland, who's happy to see Rob Schweier out of the game, gets his first look at Tony Mancha. Drop ball in the inside part of the plate. Boland does not agree. However, it is strike one call by John Hand.
Wild pitch.
Boland fouls that one deep into the Moline Knight here at Green Valley. 1-2 is the count on the Gators catcher. Ryan is 1 for 6 here to start the tournament, batting in the number 3 spot for the Gators. Lots of protection behind him, though. And you know Ryan's not going to stay cold for long. Two balls, 2 strikes. That one in the dirt from Mancha.
Good clutch triple there by Beninoka to start that inning off, and he's coming across the plate now for the second run for the Toronto Gators. Going to be a monumental task.
Joe, he decided to turn that. That's a double for most people, but
Well,
he had triple right off the mind as soon as he saw that ball going to the gap.
Yeah, he didn't hesitate, but he was about 10 feet away from second base and just turned the afterburners on, really.
And it's a pass ball that gets him in, so a lot of credit to Anoka for staying aggressive, and that's what the top teams and the top players do at this level. And in games like this, you get an opportunity and you take every extra base, every inch that you can get.
Well, that aggressiveness potentially could lead you into that extra base, really, because if he has the fielder's going to be potentially going to be pushing that throw, could be an overthrow. Again, the aggressiveness of Beninoka coming through for the Toronto Gators.
Full count pitch was fouled off by Ryan Boland, and seeing we have Steve Mullally here in the booth, and we've got our friends on the chat here from the stream, we'll have a quick impromptu game of Ask Stephen Mullally. So if you've got a question for the Canadian national team first baseman, world champion, Pan Am champion, multiple-time Canadian champion, and 3-time defending ISC champion, go ahead, ask us a question. Boland swinging a miss, strike 3. That's a hat trick for Ryan. Not the kind that he's going to want to talk about after this one.
First strikeout for Tony Mancha.
But at this point in the game, you don't need Ryan Boland to come through with a home run. This is 2-0. They're going into the top of the 7th, and you got Sean throwing a gem. Ryan's going to put the pads back on, leave that at bat behind him, and go out and call a game in the 7th inning against him.
All right, he has a task at hand to team up with Sean this top of the 7th inning, and that's what his goal is for the balance of this game.
Wayne Lalu steps in with 2 away. Mancha's first pitch is a drop ball outside. And of course, if you're just joining us, Wayne Lalu hit a home run that will maybe never be found out there beyond the second fence on this field. So well over 300 feet into the dark Moline sky.
We were talking down there earlier. Brad has to go make shades. Myself were sat down watching, and I don't think there's anybody in the game who swings as hard as Wayne. And for a guy that swings that hard, he hits it more than he misses.
Exactly. We talked about that earlier in the game of how hard he swings. He's got great bat speed, and the way he turns his wrists on his swing is just phenomenal.
2 balls, 1 strike to count to Wayne Lalu. Now there is one guy who does take some pretty good hacks, and I think he's standing right behind me. But I don't know if you put yourself in the same. No, you don't swing that quite that hard.
No. We felt the breeze from that backswing, let alone the way he's swinging forward. He swings harder than most people on his recoil.
He's probably going to be looking for the Shaquille O'Neal size icy hot back patch after the game.
I don't see him going down looking, but seeing as I made that prediction, it's probably going to happen right now. He looks very, very comfortable in the box. He's not missing very much. If this is around the way, look to see Wayne coming forward.
2-2, 2 down. The Gators lead 2-0. Oh, and he chases way outside. Lalu set down on strikes.
Great drop ball there by Mancha.
But the Toronto Gators add a run, a leadoff triple, and a score on a wild pitch for Beninoka as he single-handedly creates the offense for the Gators. Now Sean Cleary will look to shut down the J&B Painting squad here in the 7th.
Murphy's Fish and Chips is not only a great place to get some of the best seafood in Canada, but is also one of the best fastball sponsors in the game. Voted Nova Scotia's best fish and chips by Eastlink TV, Murphy's is a family institution since 1996 and a proud fastball sponsor of many Canadian and ISC championship teams. Open 7 days a week. Come join us for our famous English-style fish and chips or any of our daily specials. Murphy's is located at 88 Esplanade in Truro, Nova Scotia. We thank Dave T. Anderson and Murphy's Fish and Chips for their commitment to fastball and the broadcast program.
One question coming in asking, what are the outfield dimensions? Do you know that, Steve?
250 all around, 265.
I think they're 250, Stephen.
250.
I believe that's the way with the temporary fence up.
So 250 all around, then about 50 feet beyond that, there's the quote-unquote slow pitch fence, and we've had a few home runs clear both of these fences pretty handily, but nothing as good yet as the Johnson home run off the top of that brown building out in right center.
That was a massive shot yesterday.
Yeah, that one is another 30 to 50 feet beyond the second fence, and it's a building that's, I'm not good at this game, but I'm going to say it's about 20 feet high.
At least.
Yeah. So that's the target out there in the right center field area.
So number 3 hitter Mark Aranda, then Tony Mancha, then Jesse Palacios. Last call for J&B Painting. We'll see if they've got anything left in their tank. They got to get something going here to try and get back to tie this game up with J&B Painting or take the lead.
Well, if you're J&B, you're right where you want to be. You've got your 3, 4, 5 guys coming up. The center fielder Mark Aranda struck out in the first, grounded out to Shane Boland in the fourth.
J&B Painting would love to get that leadoff guy on, make things happen in this inning.
Check swing. The pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. Cleary gets ahead.
Good pinpoint location late in the game still by Sean Cleary.
Steve, you guys coming up, we talked about it, the 6 p.m. game is our next broadcast tomorrow night. The Hill United Chiefs and the Circle Tap Dukes, and then a big one, the Scarborough Force and the A1 Bombers. Like, we'll definitely see Devin McCullough on the mound for A1, and McCullough and Steve Mullally are Canadian heroes after the performance they both put on in the championship game at the WBSC last year. Have you come down from that game yet, Mullally? I mean, 3 bombs of home runs. Unbelievable.
It was a great thing to be a part of. It's coming down off it. Yeah, absolutely. It's great to look back and have that memory, but it's so much going on. Big opportunity for our Hill United team this year to go 4 in a row. We're hosting Nationals with Newfoundland. In Newfoundland, we're hosting with a chance to go 5 in a row. So we're trying to look forward, but when you look back on that win at the ISFs, one of the coolest things you ever be a part of is when we have 1 out left to go and 7,000 people chanting Devo, Devo for the hometown hero there, and him to come through with his patent change-up on that last pitch. It was absolutely surreal and something that the guys on that team and a lot of our families and friends will never forget.
Well, we had McCullough here on the main diamond yesterday afternoon, and he looked great, and it's looking forward to seeing him again tomorrow night.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Aranda.
Malali, we had a question come in for you from Derek Pinkerton, and this is an interesting one. In your career, if you have to have one catcher to have on your side for all the marbles, and you've played with all these guys, can you choose between Pat Shannon, Ryan Bolin, Sean O'Brien, or Jason Sanford?
That's a tough question to answer, because you're asking me to choose between 4 great catchers, but also 4 great friends. I don't know.
That's a safe answer.
I won't pick. No.
That's the right answer, I think. Good job. Because I don't think you can go wrong. They have all won everything. So how do you pick? How do you pick?
Aranda goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning.
Now you're splitting hairs at that point, and at any point in the game when those guys are at their prime, you take every one of them. You're lucky enough to get to play with one. I've had the great fortune of playing with all 4, and great ball players, even better guys and friends. And I know, Pink, you want me to make a choice, but sorry, buddy, I won't do it.
Tony Mancha steps in. 2 strikeouts on his report card for tonight. He takes ball 1 low from Sean Cleary.
Well, this is a big time of bat here for Tony Mancha. You just don't want to open that door if you're the Toronto Gators and let Mancha get on base with Jesse Palacios behind him. Or Tyler Wynot, a good clutch hitter too.
Chopper to short. Bolin takes that high and throws it wide, and the ball is going to be out of play. And that's going to move Mancha up to second base. So a chopper to Shane Bolin. It skipped up, got him, I don't know, maybe in the chest or the neck area, hopefully not in the face. And still the chance to make the play. Bolin threw it short of first base and out of the park, which means Mancha gets awarded second base.
Real tough play there by him.
That's what you need if you're J&B Painting. If you're a team in the 7th inning down by 2 runs, the old adage is, guys, we need a bloop and a bomb, right? Or let's string together a couple of hits, a couple of doubles. But right now, to get on base is one thing, but to actually get to second base and eliminate the double play, that adds another element into it. And you got a good hitter at the plate here right now, so could be that bloop and bomb situation if Sean hangs one.
Newcomer to the ISC, Callum Bishop, will pinch run at second base.
Again, the door has been open. We'll see if J&B Painting can push that door a little bit farther open.
Well, they were down to the bottom of the 7th yesterday against Bloomington when they came back to force extra innings and eventually walk it off. And you're right, Palacios is having a good tournament, and behind him, Tyler Wynot was the hero yesterday.
It's a big plate appearance right here, right in this stage.
Runner is on second, 1 out. The Gators have a 2-run cushion. How big is that Beninoka triple and score on the wild pitch now?
Exactly. That insurance run that he picked up is just one of the added incentives that Sean Cleary can say, geez, thanks, guys. Just give me a little bit of a cushion.
Palacios just missing that, fouling it straight back off the backstop. Now he's in a hole 0-2, and Stephen, we talked about it before you joined us. It's so dangerous when Sean has you 0-2 because he's so crafty, and of course with Bolin back there, they can just pick you apart.
Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head. It's when you have this battery and they get up 0-2, they get up 0-2. Which Ryan and Sean have you 0-2, and Ryan's doing the thinking and the setup. He's working with the umpire, working the corners, and Sean's just giving everything he has up there.
Hard drop ball from Cleary. That might have moved more than any of his pitches tonight.
But you look back throughout the game, and it's a game of inches, it's a game of pitches. And so far, this game is the debatable non-strike call on Lalu, the next pitch, home run, and then you had the triple, which was a normal double. He legged it out, and then a pass ball, 2-0.
Strike three, down goes Palacios. And it's all up to Halifax, Nova Scotia's Tyler Wynot, who, as I mentioned, hit the game-tying home run yesterday.
14 strikeouts for Sean Cleary up to this point.
And Terry Bader has gone to the mound.
Well, I'm sure that what they're just talking about, they're well aware of Tyler Wynot's strengths and weaknesses, and they're talking about that, of how to get Tyler Wynot off the bases to secure this victory.
Wynot, one of his best friends, and Justin Schofield is over on the bench. Maybe he sent Bader out with just a couple of tips.
Little only action here.
Tyler Wynot is 1 for 2. He doubled in his last at bat. That was the chopper over Brad Rona. That's a drop ball low out of the zone for ball one.
Tyler Wynot will make him work at the plate. Tyler has good plate discipline.
And he can yank one out of here too. Tyler Wynot has power. Another one low. And as expected, they're not going to risk a rise ball to Wynot right now.
Well, again, you've got first base open, so you're going to be very careful with Wynot. Wynot potentially might even been a former catcher of Sean Cleary in his earlier Gator days.
Well, certainly with Ryan Boland's commitments over the last couple of years, there's no doubt. Change up.
Great pitch, great call.
Wow.
Ryan and Sean are out there trying to balance. You don't want to hang a pitch that you can tie the ball game, but you also don't want to put two runners on and have the go-ahead run coming to the plate. The changeup was a great pitch right there.
Another Nova Scotian and Aaron Harvey waits on deck. Ball three to Wynot.
So Harvey, if you can remember, hit a home run off Sean in the championship game of the Canadians last year. So it's not a guy that you want coming up to the plate. He's familiar with Sean. You don't want him coming up to the plate with a chance to go ahead in the seventh inning.
3-1, 2 down. Runner on second.
A lot of pressure here.
Strike call, drop ball on the inside half of the plate. Full count to Tyler Wynot.
Big battle here. Who's going to win the battle?
Wynot takes a deep breath and steps into the box. Cleary, whose pulse never gets above a resting heart rate, stands on the mound.
Trying to decide whether they're going to go change up here or not.
I can't see him come with a changeup.
I do see him come with a changeup.
I'm
Probably not now after they had the meeting around the mound, but
I'm going to say a nice drop ball.
Whatever they're going to come with is calculated.
Yep.
Well, a changeup, if he hung it, could be put out of the park, but who expects a 3-2 changeup? And that's exactly why you would throw it. Let's see what they've decided on. Drop ball inside, ground ball, third base, Sebastian on to first, and the Toronto Gators, on a complete game shutout from Sean Cleary, will move on to face the New York Gremlins on Thursday night. That'll be live right here on the ISC Network.
Great ball game. Toronto Gators winning by a score of 2-0 over the J&B Painting. Superb pitching performance put on by both teams, actually, by winning pitcher Sean Cleary and by losing pitcher Rob Schweier. Schweier put on a great show here. 6 strikeouts. Just that big hit by Wayne Lalu back in the 4th inning, and that insurance run of that triple by Mananoka in the 6th.
Winning pitcher is Sean Cleary on the complete game. A 2-0 shutout. Again, another game where Sean Cleary has not given up an earned run here in the event. The hard luck loser is Rob Schweier, and J&B will drop into the loser's side and get back to work tomorrow. That's going to do it for us here on the ISC Network tonight. We'd like to thank you for joining us. Certainly like to thank Stephen Mullally for popping in with his insight for the last couple of innings. And on behalf of Joe, Todd, Blair Setford, Lance Wynn, we'll see you back here tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you very much for tuning in. Signing off from Moline, I'm Kris Abbott.
They're over here. Okay. Can you meet me at the front of the hotel? At the Isle Hotel? Okay. I'll go back with these guys then. Okay.